Good morning, planet Earth, wherever you are on planet Earth. Welcome to Djuma Game Reserve. Welcome to our WildEarth live safari this morning. My name is Mark. Viam is with me on camera, Alex in final control, and we're heading out this morning. Well, we're out already. We've been driving around a little bit. I've come to an area where there was a leopard yesterday, and I'm doing sort of loops around the area where she was, if she was there. It wasn't confirmed. I wanted to see if we can pick up her tracks and see where she's gone, because she's a very key player in our lives here at Djuma. She's the dominant female leopard. She's a wonderful cat, given birth to 4 litters. We're hoping she's going to be having her 5th, or if she hasn't had them already. Hasn't been seen on Djuma for a while, so we're hoping maybe we'll be able to find at least some tracks, get an idea of where she is, so we can keep track of her movements. Other than that, I haven't heard much of what's been going on overnight. I don't know if there was anything at Agari Dam. If there has been anything, please let me know. I believe there was a baby hippo born at Arathusa Dam last night, so for those of you who can get onto the Arathusa camera, you might be able to see the new baby hippo. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see if we can maybe even make our way there later, towards the end of the drive. For now though, we are on a hunt, not a hunt, we're just looking for tracks and birds and impala and flowers. Hope you've all had a good weekend. Some of you are still ending your weekend. Those of you who are behind us in time zones, some of you are already well into your Monday, I guess. Beautiful blue skies this morning. We've got a last quarter moon hanging up above our heads. Perfect summer's day. Welcome to Africa. I can hear a squirrel shouting. Direction that we are traveling. Not a squirrel. It is. I thought it was a squirrel. When one of my ears are blocked, my sound becomes distorted. It's a fork-tailed drongo. I think it's just morning bird chatter. Sounded like an alarm call. Please do send questions or comments or queries to our email address, questions@wildearth.tv. Questions can also be sent through our thread on Twitter, #SafariLive. Remember, it's not live safari, although this is a live safari, but our #SafariLive is the thread on Twitter. Noticed a lot of hyena activity on the roads. The tracks of hyena coming in and around Taylor Lodge early this morning. Still no cats though. I'm on a main road, so there's traffic. morning commute for some of the landowners. This is a main access road to various different lodges and different properties within the Sabi Sand. As you can see, there's also the power line that brings in power to the different properties. So it is a commonly used road. I don't want to stay on it for too long, but it's an important road because it divides Djuma or the Gari property, which is one property that we traverse. It divides that from other properties, and it gives me an idea of who's moving where, especially those animals that do cover larger territories or larger ground, larger areas than the area that we cover. Just doing a small section of it to make sure that I can find which way this cat went yesterday. The drawback of having a main road like this, although I suppose as they say, what you lose on the swings you make up on the roundabouts, but the drawback of this road being a main road is that there's a lot of traffic, so not likely to be tracks where the cars are driving, so I've got to maybe find them on the edges of the road, the soft sand on the edges. And there was a hippo there, looks like there might be a hippo at Treehouse Dam. There's hippo tracks crossing over here heading towards Treehouse Dam. This particular junction is also quite important. The cats use the road, well, even elephants, most animals that are traversing areas tend to walk on roads. They see them as just extended pathways through the bush. Animals do make their own paths, they have seasonal movement, they have specific routes that they travel to get to different areas. So it's not surprising that they see our roads as those very same pathways. Old lion tracks coming out. If I find any nice ones, especially in the early morning, if we find any nice tracks, we might be able to focus on them. As the morning wears on, it starts getting more and more difficult to read tracks because the sun starts rising. The best time to read tracks, early mornings, late afternoons, when you have a low sun, and what that does is it throws a shadow into the bowl of the track, the shadow of the ridge of the track, or spoor as it's known. Buffalo crossing over. And I guess it's about the best time to try and catch a track on camera, and if we get a nice interesting one, to try and point it out to you. Looks like vehicles were moving in here. I hope you're looking for animals while I'm looking for tracks, because I've got my eyes on the ground mostly. Hello little elephant. Where's your mother? There they are on the right. Always little boys. Oh, he's gonna charge us. There we go. I'm so scared. Kick dust. Oh yes. Fierce elephant. Throwing dust, making himself look very yes, see, front and back leg swinging. He doesn't know what to do next because I'm not running away in fear. The youngster, probably about maybe 7 years old, 7 or 8. He seems a little bit stressed. Got a little bit of a dribble from his temporal gland. Might have been that car that came past, that white vehicle. Here comes Mama on the other side. Oh, she's got a tiny little one. There you go. Oh, making you swing around like that. See if I can move a little bit for you. No, I think that's good, yeah? No better way to start a day than with some ellies, especially a little one like this. She's gonna come and say hello. I'm right on top of a pathway actually. I'm gonna have to go forward and then we'll turn around and have the sun behind us. Relax, child, I'm not doing anything. If she is going to come across, maybe it wasn't exactly where she wanted to come. I just didn't want to get in her way. There are more further in. My guess is that they're either going to come across this way or this little boy is going to go across to them. What we're experiencing here, what we notice, what we're seeing here is a little boy that's starting to find his independence, invariably lagging behind the herd, getting used to being a little bit further away from mom, but still being in vocal contact, still being close enough that if he was frightened he could run to her. Morning, Dawn. Dawn sending a question through Twitter asking how long elephants stay with their mother. Well, for the little females, they'll stay with mom for most of their life, if not all of their lives. Little boys up until just past puberty puberty for elephants, pretty much the same as for us humans. For males, they'll probably go anywhere from between, I'd say, maybe 11 and 14. The little girls go through puberty maybe a little bit younger. Very many things of elephants' lives are on a par with us humans. The aging process and the growing up process, the learning process that they have to go through. The first 20 years of their life is very, very similar. One can almost attribute the same kind of qualities or abilities to young elephants as you can with humans. 5-year-old human and a 5-year-old elephant, about the same sort of brain development, the same sort of cognizant abilities. Move forward a little bit, see if we can see Mom. You can see little one running around in there, but I think they might... Oh, a little squeak out of a little Ellie. I think she's actually moved further in. Maybe should have just sat where we were. There is the makings of an elephant path that's coming through where she was walking, and I don't know if she was planning on crossing the road. Oh, the hippo tracks going back across the road here. So that hippo that we saw, that looked like it went to the dam, they moved deeper in. Maybe we'll just have to come back and look at in a little while, see if they are either going to cross over onto our side of this road or stay, or go deeper in on the left. But at the moment, none of them visible. I need to carry on with my mission. So Dawn, the young males, like this little boy, start lagging behind from a fairly young age, mostly because they don't have much of a role to play in the raising of the youngsters, other than playing with them, and that starts becoming boring, and it also becomes too boisterous perhaps sometimes when they get a little bit big, and maybe they get reprimanded a few too many times by being too rough with the little ones. So they tend to hang out still a little bit away from the herd, most likely during the night and during... Oh, there's some... See, now I don't know, now I'm thinking maybe we just stay here because they're moving parallel to the road and gonna have to turn around again. Might, because there's a nice big group in here, but fairly thick bush. So just after puberty, when they're in their teens, they might end up following some bulls, older bulls. Might end up following older bulls for a while and then joining up with them permanently. So anywhere sort of in the mid to late teens is when, or even early to late teens, is when the bulls leave Mom. So we're just going to have to be patient and see if they're going to come out. They are moving in the same direction we're facing now, east to west. Very hard for them to pick anything up on camera now, but a glimpse of an ear flapping. on this way, children. So the group is made up of a matriarch. It's a matriarchal society, which probably accounts for its gentle and peaceful ambience. Matriarch, invariably the oldest female within the group, and then in the immediate family group is the matriarch and her daughters and their daughters. In other words, the matriarch and her grandchildren, or even maybe great-grandchildren. Sometimes you'll have bulls that'll spend a lot of time with them, bulls-related bulls. So this little boy might go off and move on with some other bulls for extended periods of time, but they will always cross paths, because as a bull he will still be following the same areas that his mother had taken him as a child, knowing where to find different types of food, fruit at certain times of the year. And so their paths will invariably cross over time, and it's very important that elephants socialize a lot. The little boy is still back there. He's not even following this lot. Bit of a gap over here that we might get to see them coming through. Not quite. They're about 6 inches closer to the road now. That trajectory might just bring them closer in about an hour. Or maybe they're moving just inside or just off of the road on purpose because of the traffic that does drive on the road. But I'm hoping that after eating a lot of leaves and twigs and branches the way they are now, they're going to want to come and eat some of this new green growth that's growing on the fire break. The cleared area where we saw this little boy, you can see the bush has been cleared back quite a bit from the road to where the power lines are, and that's to act as a fire break in the dry season. Very distinct sort of border or grassland. Favoured by ellies at the moment because there are a bunch of things that are growing. There are a lot of ground creepers, grasses. They can't feed on too much lush green material, but as long as they're having fibre, as long as they're having branches and bark, they will enjoy it. Sherry! Hello, Sherry. Do elephants get baby teeth like humans? Yes and no. The only baby teeth they get are their tusks, their tushes, their incisors. Elephants have quite a unique dental formula. They have a rather different set of teeth than most other mammals. Most other mammals. Let's see, nice and open here. Hopefully they'll come through here while I'm talking about elephant teeth. they're moving so slowly, and maybe time to go and continue my quest for tracks. Morning.
Morning, how are you doing?
Very good, and you?
Good.
Mark.
Banner.
Very nice. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, what are you going to sing this morning?
Just this Slumbian Love here. I'm hoping they're going to come across or come closer.
Okay. Have you been to the Zangala on safari yet?
No. Are they still up near Second Windmill?
Yeah, I think I found them this morning again, between Second Windmill and Old Borehole.
Okay. I might get there a bit later. Unfortunately, Game Drive Radio is causing a bit of problem with our signal, our broadcast.
Okay.
So I thought that the guys are probably going to be going there first and...
Yeah.
Get
let on slow.
Yeah. Okay.
But enjoy.
You too.
See you later again.
Ciao. Have fun. Have a lovely day.
You too.
As far as the molars and the rest of the teeth are concerned in an elephant, elephant have a molar set. Oh, here they are, right next to us almost. You can just stop reversing into trees. And they'll go through 6 sets in a lifetime. And so you can't really call them baby teeth. Yeah, there we go. Patience being rewarded. Patience being rewarded. Oh, they're 2 little ones that are about the same age. Yeah. I want them to come and play. Come out, wherever you are. I stifled a sneeze, now my nose is itchy. So their first set of teeth already starts coming out in their first year, and the tushes are the small incisors or small tusks that they lose after the first year, second year. Well, in the second year their proper tusks start growing, and that is when their first set of teeth starts being worn down, because it's when they start being weaned off of milk. They'll drink for about 2 years extensively, but as long as a female is having babies and she's lactating, even a 5-6 year old elephant, I've noticed, will try and drink from mum. This is one of the older sisters. Hello, little girl. Coming out to graze on the grasses and the herbs and forbs that are growing in the open. Oh, wait. Yeah. Sorry, we're zooming from one side to the other, but this is just too gorgeous. And that big cow has just walked right behind us. Oh, there's my camera. Yes. Giving us a show, trying to chase this big car. Ooh. Being reassured by big sister next to it. mom. Yeah, mom and sisters and probably cousins all rallying around the little one to calm it down. I think it was getting a little bit worked up. Probably reassuring it that there's no need to worry. I think that must be a big sister, because it's very, very caring, very, very gentle with it. They're going to cross behind us. The matriarch's pushing them. We can try and go back. I'm going to upset her if I do. If I try to get to the east of her, but we'll just have to live with being on this side while other big mom comes. Oops, tripped. Hello, Mrs. Ellie. We don't mean any harm. Hello, girl. They might be going to Treehouse Dam, which is where I wanted to go myself. I was on the way there anyway. So it might be nice to continue our quest. I'm going to leave them be now, because we've been sitting here for a little while. And I don't want to stress them out by pretending to, or by following them. I want them to get a clear message that I'm not really interested in them. I just happened to be here when they came up onto the road. They have calmed down. They're all grazing and browsing just off of the tree line. They're starting to move through. My guess is that they might go through to Treehouse. I'm going to continue to cover this block that they've gone into, because as far as I'm aware, that is where this cat was yesterday. Yes, that's some leopard tracks, but that's a male leopard moving about here. Gone up the other way. Might have been one of her boys. Nothing crossing over, so if anything, he might have moved in. The first tracks I've seen, actually. Leanne, very nice to hear from you. Leandra wants to know what that is that female elephants secrete from their temporal glands. I don't know, actually. I'm not really sure. Funny enough. I'll have to find more info. I'll have to look into that. For some reason, it never occurred to me to think of that. What the actual substance is. That's why I like to get questions from all of you, because different minds think in different ways, and there's always going to be something that I might not have thought about looking into before. Usually females that are secreting or dribbling from their temporal glands usually is some indication that they're a little bit stressed, or they have been in stressful situations, or they're upset about something. It's emotional mostly, as far as I'm aware. But even in musk bulls, I don't know what, I know that their higher testosterone levels and that their temporal glands are very active in times when they're in must, which is in times of heightened testosterone levels. But I don't think it's pure testosterone that's leaking out of the glands. I don't even know what that substance is, what one would call it. Thanks, Alex. I'm hoping the fact that we left them peacefully, that if we see them, we're sort of going to be crossing paths with them in a minute again. I hope, if they're on a trajectory to the dam, or at least to have some mud wallow, I hope that they remembered, well, not remember, because elephants don't forget really, but I hope they realize that I'm the same person or the same vehicle, and that it was a positive encounter, the one that we've just had. And they let us watch the baby. I want to watch those little ones play a little bit. See that squirrel? Squirrel's got a bit of a kink in its tail. Squirrel's antisocial. Morning, Genevieve. Do the wrinkles in an elephant's skin serve any purpose? Well, I guess yes, they do. I mean, if you just... we got wrinkles in our skin. It allows for flexibility. If it was a smooth skin, it probably wouldn't be as flexible as ours is. stretchy and all. Thought I saw a dark shape, which would have been them coming through. But it's about here, I think, that they were coming through. Still not seen any cat tracks. Another cuckoo. Oh, I wish they would sit still. There. Unfortunately, it's probably directly behind here. Right there. If I go any forward, I can try. But before I do, I'm just going to look with my binoculars. European or African? Raisa. RC. Off it goes. Landed again. We might be able to get another view. Need to just look at my book quickly. Got a brief glimpse of the beak. I think it's either European or African cuckoo. There he is. In that bush below. And gone again. And probably one of the most shy species of birds, because it's not just one species of cuckoo. There's almost every species of cuckoo that's shy. One of the most shy species of birds, because it's not just one species of cuckoo. There's almost every species of cuckoo that's shy. I was worried that if I tried to go forward from where I was, then it would fly, and it didn't even need to move the car. It flew. It's looking at it. I guess if we weren't looking at it, if we ignored it, it wouldn't even bother flying away. Hyena tracks. Buffalo. Already, and I guess it's going to be a hot day. Buffalo already in the water. We're going to sit here for a while. Hope that we get some elephant activity. We're going to look at weaver nests. Sounds like the nests are already active in terms of breeding. Beautiful jasmine creeper as well. Top there. Forward a little bit, so yeah, get a view of the buck. Very hard work being a buffalo. I guess he didn't like my sarcasm. I'm thinking that must have been an African cuckoo. It might have been. I think I saw a bit of a yellow base to the bull. Morning Vivian in Chicago, lovely to hear from you. I haven't heard from Vivian for a while. Wanting to know how long it takes the weavers to build their nests. I'd say on average about 2 to 3 days to build each one. Once again, there's a depends on this question or this answer, because sometimes they have easy access to material like palm fronds that they can strip, and the quicker they can collect just the right grasses or just the right leaves, strips of leaves, the quicker they can build the nest. Sometimes they have to fly a little distance to collect the right types of grasses. Every year I have weavers that build outside my house in the knobthorn. I never really use the nest. I think it's mostly just practice. The young males have to practice nest building to satisfy the instincts of a female. The females tend to know when a nest is sturdy enough, strong enough, or sheltered enough, and so often they might reject the nest from younger males that aren't that experienced at nest building. Obviously, it's an instinctive action on their part, and they've bred weavers in captivity for generations in tests to see how strong the instinct for nest building is, and they've found that even after several generations, if letting weavers do their thing, they automatically go into nest building mode and they know how to build their nests. So it's not so much a learned thing, it's very much an instinctive behavior or behavioral trait. But it's where to put the nest and how to secure it to the branch that is of greater importance, and often you might find the females are adept at testing them out, knowing that which ones are safe enough to raise chicks in, and sometimes they might destroy a nest if it's not good enough. Sometimes the nest isn't used because the males and the females are not in sync as far as mating is concerned. It's only when they sort of synchronize, so they synchronize, that she will then accept the nest. And once the male has built the nest, he hovers about very nervously as soon as a female comes anywhere near him or the nest, hoping to invite her in, and if she feels comfortable in it, she'll let him mate. What's that? There's a little wader on the edge of the water, halfway to the buffalo. There where that buffalo dung is, probably picking up insects that are near the dung. One of the small waders. Could be a wood sandpiper. Slightly recurved bull. Any birders out there want to hazard a guess? Brian, maybe? Some of the waders are difficult. See a little three-banded plover to the bottom left of the screen, just exiting the picture now. That's a little three-banded plover, and of course the big blacksmith lapwing blacksmith plover up at the top. I think it was a wood sandpiper. I'm not too sure. It's gone a little bit too far now, but I'm pretty sure it was a wood. More buffalo coming in. Oh, nice one. Might be time to go and see if those ellies are coming. I'm going to move forward or back. Actually, if we move back, we'll follow them down. The angle might not be too good if I go back, if I go forward. Oh, do you think it's still good?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, we're in the shade. We've got some trees behind us, so we are almost invisible. At least another half dozen or more buffalo coming down to the water. Aha, there's a little bit of a we're in the water first kind of move going on down at the water now. Oh, it's a big bachelor group. A baker's dozen. I think there were 15 or 16 here the other day. Must be the same group of old bulls. But I think possibly two different groups. Just the way that the ones that were here seem to react to this lot that came in. He's throwing his head around and having a tantrum. Oxpeckers are bugging him, I think. Not all old bulls, there is a fairly young bull there actually. That one and sort of in the middle facing that one that's being chased now. He's a youngster. I don't know what he's doing with these old boys. But he clearly wasn't tolerated. Yeah, certainly posturing at him. Maybe he got left behind by the herd and he's just hanging out with these bulls till he hooks up with the herd again. Not often that you get a little boy that's stuck with a bunch of grumpy old men. Maybe we're going to do a loop. We'll go up onto this, from this southern loop on Treehouse. We'll go up to Spam Road and then come around. Because I still need to look for more tracks. And so far we haven't found any. And I know that I believe she was sort of where these buffalo came from. Karula was in that area at some stage yesterday. So I still need to find some tracks. Could be that she might have, if there are no tracks, could be she's still in that area because she might have made a kill. I don't want to miss the elephants, and I know that they might be coming here. So we're gonna, oh, what was that? Something running in the grass just below us on the left. I don't know if you can see anything down there, yeah? Nothing. Nothing. Might have been a bird. Could have had the movement like a Birchel's cuckoo, but nothing flew out of there. No tracks. Morning, boys. Moo. V. Thank you. Move. Some more. Thank you. Coming through. I'm a doctor. Coming through. Enjoy your day, boys. These are some of the boys that were in the water first when this other group came down, and they've actually been forced to move on. Maybe they're going to make their way to Gowrie Dam. You might find them on coming into Gowrie in a little while. Not a case of who first come, first served, or who got there first. A case of a group of 9 is bigger than a group of 4, or was it 8 and 5? Flower time. There's a white flower that grows here in little stands. I'm going to find another little stand of them. I've been racking my brains thinking of what it is, because I can't remember it. Hibiscus, comelinas, morning glory. The small morning glory, it's a different species of morning glory. We haven't seen that little one yet. A lot smaller than the big purple ones that we saw earlier, or day before yesterday. Gloria's morning glory. Another Gloria's morning glory. Victoria. Hope everything goes well with you. And anybody else who's going through medical issues, medical troubles at the moment. Right, here are these little white flowers. I thought they might have been a Zuluzianskia, but I don't think they are. I just heard a parrot. I don't know if you heard that squeak behind me. There was a brown-headed parrot. Morning Impala, Bachelor Boys, come and see you later, we're on a mission. So that little white flower now, this is a little stand of it, really pretty. I just can't remember what it is. Maybe just, if I take a photo quickly, I can get just a half decent shot. There, that one will do. I'll try and look for it later, get through my books. I've only got 3 of my flower books, and sometimes even 3 books are not enough. But if anyone's interested in looking at what they might be, really pretty little. Even 3 books are not enough. But if anyone's interested in looking at what they might be, really pretty little flowers, but more so in that they're growing in stands. And then now there are none. There's another little cluster of them. They favour certain sandy soils, and even at home, only on the higher ground where there's much better drainage, the deeper, sandier soils is where we find them. Toes, but those are hyena toes, not cat toes. Hyenas certainly got around last night. I think every road so far I've had fairly fresh hyena tracks from last night. A lot of hyena activity over a wide area. Parrot.
Parrot, yeah.
Oh, it's gone. Brown-headed parrot. Beautiful green in the right light. When they're sitting, they don't look very attractive for parrots. But they've got a brown, the brown sort of opens up when they fly, and because the brown of their wings covers the really green of the back. And when they fly, the lime green back, iridescent in the sunlight. Another shy bird, the brown-headed parrot. Very seldom able to observe them without disturbing them. Yeah, bo. Morning, Elizabeth. Elizabeth's question is whether we often locate lion or leopard by other animals' warning sounds. Yes, actually we do. I do. Very often I don't even know that there's a predator around until I hear the alarm calls of other animals, either impala, baboons or monkeys. At home it's mostly impala that I hear because I don't have many primates close to my house, and unless I'm driving around where I might bump into them, I don't. Ooh. A little bee eater landed on a branch here. But yes, it's a very easy way to try and find a predator. It's often easier locating a predator by the sounds of the alarm calls of birds or squirrels or larger, especially the larger mammals. Monkeys have a very distinct sound. When there is a leopard, so do baboons. They don't shout the same way at lion. Where did that little bird go? There it is. Don't go, don't go, don't go. Just pushed it 2 millimeters too far. Little bee eater, using certain perches here as a vantage point for another cuckoo, for hawking insects in mid-flight. Some of the animals have very distinct sounds, and of course the intensity of the alarm call is an indicator of how close or how bad the animal situation is. In fact, I've often found leopard on a kill by being able to be in the right place at the right time, and knowing the intensity of the barking of the rest of the impala, the snorting. It kind of changes a little bit when the leopard has made a kill and the rest of the impala just stand around snorting and being defiant. Birds, unfortunately, your average birds, it's hard to understand their language, especially those who alarm at just about anything. They alarm if there's a rival in their territory, they alarm if there's an eagle or a snake. Snakes are different though. Snakes and owls, when you have a group of birds that are alarming because of a snake or an owl, you find them all together in a tree and you can actually follow their movements, and if anything, some of them are actually intent on mobbing the predator, so you can point it out quite easily. Sometimes if it's just a leopard or something moving, walking through the bush and there are alarm calls, it's a little bit more difficult actually to try and locate it. Sometimes the alarm calls are not very stressed out, or they're just milder than when a predator is hunting or a predator has intent. easier than trying to find tracks, follow tracks. But then again, sometimes finding and following tracks can be the easiest way of all. It depends on so many variables, of course. The substrate, the type of sand you're tracking in, the type of terrain, the type of bush, whether or not the ground is hard. And then of course with tracking, once they leave the road, tracking off-road can be tricky. I'm not seeing anything here from cats, which means that she might still be in this block. And if she's still in the block, could mean that she maybe made a kill in there sometime last night or yesterday. The other thing about alarm calling and finding predators by alarm calls is that a predator is going to try and avoid being seen, going to try and avoid that kind of attention, because by having animals alarming and animals that are shouting at it, it can forget about hunting in that immediate area for some time after all of that. Nice little bachelor group of impala here. There's another aspect as well. I'm going to go back to the dam. The other aspect of trying to find a predator when animals are alarming is very often it's at a distance away. And quite often, unless you can get into a vehicle immediately, and when I mean immediately, I mean immediately. It's not a case of, oh well, let me grab a couple of drinks and I'll grab the pillow or my binoculars, need to get a few supplies together. Okay, so get into a vehicle and go and find it immediately, because things happen so fast that the longer it takes to get to where the animals are alarming, the less chance you have of actually finding the predator. All about proximity. And if a leopard is hunting for an animal that exposes itself. Gosh, excuse me. And then it's over very quickly, because it's either successful or some warthog down here. They seem to be also trying to get to the dam. No sign of my elephants yet. Sorry, man. Here we go. I'm going to just try and test a theory so I can talk to someone. Sessions copy. Text for Mark. An update, please. Ruler yesterday. Treehouse dam. Oh, there was, at least. So no news from Taxon about, but she was up near Spum Road. Maybe we ought to go and do Zoe's Road. So confirm signal held through that transmission. Good news, good news. Okay, and then I think what we need to do is we need to make our way. I'm going to see if we can pick up on those Birmingham boys. Wander over there. I have to rely on a hard copy of a map. Well, I don't see any sign of Karula coming out of any of these areas. Unless, of course, I missed the tracks and we need to go on Zoe's Road later. Alex, come in. If you could contact Jason or Scott, please, just to make sure that Scott leaves that tablet behind, please. Thank you. Detour past Twin Dams and then go over to Arathusa. stand still, you can't see me, he says. A little bit hidden in the Isle of Bull. And now he's shy because we're looking at him. Okay, catch you later, dude. That was a Dacre, but as with many small things, well, many things in fact, not only small, even kudu, the fact that one stops and looks to the animal, it's not a case of you stopping to look at the animal. It means that you're focusing on it, and it gets it triggers the flight response. So if it wasn't for that, hang on, let me just listen. Even on foot, when you're doing a walk, if you don't look at the animal, if you ignore it, it doesn't feel threatened. But the very fact that one stops and looks, as I say, triggers that flight response, and the animal thinks it's been honed in on, or it's being focused on. And the only reason why an animal would focus on another would be to catch it. And that is actually something that works even with insects. Lizards, snakes. I've made eye contact with all sorts of things that react. Wasps, spiders. It's like the light in the eye, the glint in the eye. Something in the eye that is picked up by the other species, and it sort of triggers the brain to respond in some way. Fight or flight is what it is. Sometimes though you get the fight response from the likes of leopard or lion, especially if you're too close to them and they have cubs and they're getting a little defensive. Nobody at Twin Dams as yet. Doesn't seem to be much activity here. I don't even see the geese, funny enough. Maybe they're just over the wall. coming in the road. Caterpillar, it's rubbing the hairs off of. Must be a hairy caterpillar. Hornbills do that when they pick up a hairy caterpillar. They rub it on a branch to get a lot of the hairs off. No, Hornbill, we wanted to see you swallow it. And more jasmine growing in that bush willow. Jasmine's flowering everywhere. I can only imagine what it must look like at home. I've got a bunch of jasmine creeper around my bungalow that only flowers this time of the year, and the rest of the year you don't even know it's there. The star jasmine. Just looking at the white up there. Yeah. If we can't get the hornbill. Hornbill's now down here. Looks like it must have swallowed the caterpillar. It's looking for another one. See, maybe too high. Yeah, just a little bit too high. Red-billed hornbill. Bye bye hornbill. Up here. I need to familiarize myself with. Number good. Okay, copy. Gary Main should be fine. Okay, copy. Should.
Morning.
Johnny, good morning all.
Anything exciting outside?
No, I don't know. I just come from Trinidad.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like some, I don't know, something up there towards Cheetah Plain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll go and have a look. Just see if they don't cross over.
Bye.
Ciao.
So back to my map, see where I'm going. I want to go there. Oh, that looks enough. Down Zebra Drive. Venturing onto unknown territory, unknown streets. Do you spend any time on Arathusa?
I got some hours here.
So Viam's got more hours than me on Arathusa. Good, then I can rely on you to show me the way.
But Arathusa is like a maze.
Yeah? That's the fun of it. We'll find our way through the maze. Let's see if we can win the prize. Although it is getting hot, and it gets hot, it takes me to sleep. Exciting going on to a new area that I've never seen before. I might see something I've never seen before. Sign of those elephants. I guess we might be missing them at Treehouse Dam. So they might still be going there later. They tend to mostly only go down to the dam when it gets really, really hot. But they can drink and have a mud wallow and bathe, cool down. Mostly only. Having said that, I believe there are some elephants at Buffels's Dam at the moment. Jacobin, how are you? Good. Elvis. southwestern corner of Gari. I'm going to be going on to this western property. The property to the west that has always been out of bounds for me in the past, and really wonderful to be able to go and explore here now. Sorry, and here we go, new road. I did come out here the other day. I did just a brief drive on one of the roads that runs parallel to the main road. But today I think we need to explore a little more. I think every day we need to explore a bit more. Get to know it. I like to keep track of where I'm going. So we have now just crossed that road. Which is parallel south, parallel north. To the right, we've changed channels. Different property, different channel on the radio. Questions at WildEarth.tv. Seems that a lot of people favor Twitter for questions. Hashtag Safari Live, where you can ask a question. Jackalberry leaning over the road. That road we just crossed is called Ellie. Even feels different. I suppose it's because areas that I've been in I'm so familiar with. The only type of hibiscus here, not a very common type of hibiscus, in fact one that I'm not too sure of. I'm trying to make out the beetle, but it's a bit too close to focus with binoculars. Little beetle or something on the leaf. We often find beetles called blister beetles on the hibiscus because they love to eat the flowers of the hibiscus. But the more common wild hibiscus is a more of a closed flower. It's got a broader leaf. That's probably something known as angustifolia or something similar, referring to a very narrow leaf. Species of the hibiscus family. Out here we get a dwarf hibiscus, we get a miniature hibiscus, and then various different larger yellow hibiscus flowers. Of course they all belong to the cotton family or the Malvasia or the Malva family, and the wild cotton is also one of them. A very distinctive hibiscus shaped flower. There's a lot of that family that the blister beetles utilize as adult beetles. They eat the leaves. The other group of flowers that they tend to favor are the potato family. Look here, some wattle flowers. African wattle. Stop and listen while we're looking at. Surprised there's not very many of those fruit chafers, the flower chafers that are hovering around the wattle flowers at the moment. Normally quite active in that respect. See Arethusa airstrip just every now and again when there's a gap in the trees on the ridge south of us. Maybe if we can come back via that airstrip. It's a lovely, very long airstrip where one of the scheduled flights brings in guests to the different lodges. I've seen some amazing things on that airstrip, not because I've been driving here at Arethusa, because this is the first time I'm actually doing a game drive. But I have visited the lodge on many occasions in the past when we were based here at Djuma. We had a larger community of friends that worked at the different lodges, and we often used to get together, socialise, and occasionally occasionally it would be at Arethusa. Bee eaters. Is gone. Please repeat. A bit of a dodgy signal at the moment. Yep. Virginia. Morning, Virginia. What are some of the edible fruits and plants? Well, we've got to make a distinction there, Virginia. Edible versus palatable. There are a number of edible things, but they might not necessarily be palatable. Difference being, if it's edible you can safely eat it, but you might not like the taste of it. So Zebra Road now joins up with, we've already been joined up with that road. That one, that shortcut. So that's the loop that goes around the lodge just down there. But even if I don't know the roads, I'm in my picture where we are. We've got the main Arathusa Lodge just off to the south of us, and the big Arathusa Dam between the lodge. The lodge down here, it's a problem. As long as everybody's out on the game drive. Edible plants. So edible plants, edible fruits. Anyway, to go where I'm going, I better quickly have a look at. So we need to go straight, straight, straight. At the moment, fruiting, we've got a number of fruits that are coming into, or trees that are coming to fruit. The marula, of course, is the main one because it is a very big tree and it's quite a prolific fruiter when it does fruit. So the marula, of course, is one of those. Then there is the sour plum. Let's see if I can find a sour plum. A really delicious fruit. As its name implies, it's very high in vitamin C, so it kind of gets you on your jaw muscles, your masseter muscles, kind of tighten up like when you're eating lemon. Arathusa. Light isn't great. We need to go branch off here. I guess that the baby hippo's right on the other end there. The buffalo thorn will be fruiting, although the buffalo thorn fruits later on in the season. And there are a lot of different species of grewia, the raisin bush, or also known as brandy bush. All of those are edible. Not wonderfully palatable, and there's not really that much fruit around the seed, so you have to put a whole handful in your mouth just to get some sort of taste of it. Lovely big group of waterbuck in the edges of the dam. Of course, we're looking into the sun, so it's very bright looking that way. Let's continue. Now here's another type of hibiscus. I don't know if we're going to get it. It's very close to the edge of the... it's a bit too close, I suppose. Okay, there'll be more. So moving on, fruit-wise, I'll have to point them out to you when I see them. Plants-wise, there are a number of plants which have roots or tubers that we can eat. One is the mother-in-law's tongue, which is a Sansevieria. And oh, schön. Very good, and you?
Very good.
Good. Morning all.
Morning.
There's some guy that's still up there.
Not sure. We got
We're up to the second windmill.
the second one.
Near the pan.
Yeah, no. Just a little bit northeast from there. Just jump past the plane. We can only follow that together.
Okay, I hope I can find it.
Yeah.
I've never been there before.
Yeah. But there's that Lela. That one.
Yeah, that other one.
Yeah.
I can't go this way.
You can take this one as well.
Yeah, I was gonna go come around. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. I'm too far south. Should have gone up second windmill. Oh, that was second windmill that I should have gone up. This is first windmill we're gonna go. Not serious. We'll come back down second windmill. That's how we learn. There are some leaves you can eat. The buffalo thorn is probably about the most palatable of the leaves. You could pick, especially this time of the year, the buffalo thorn leaves are fresh and green and haven't been eaten by insects much yet. And you could add them to a salad. I should try cook with them one day actually. I haven't even tried that. You know, you can add acacia leaves sometimes. Adds a bit of flavour. Or take an acacia branch and use the leaves to baste something on a barbecue. That also, oh, it's a little tortoise. Look at that. That's one of the two species of tortoise that we get here, and that's actually the rarest of the two. It's an endangered species, or it is cited in the Red Book as far as I know. That's CITES status. I'm not too sure whether it's vulnerable or threatened, but that is the hingeback tortoise. Speaks hingeback tortoise. And if we can, it's not too thick the grass where he's going, or she, maybe we can get to see a little bit closer. I don't want to pick it up. I don't like picking up tortoises. It stresses them out. They tend to void their bladder, which is vital to their survival. Maybe not so much in the wet season, but certainly if they're moving around towards the end of the dry season. And maybe move a little bit more to the left, because it's just the part of the tortoise I want to talk about is obscured by the vehicle. I just move a little bit like that. How's that? Much better. It's called a hingeback tortoise because, although it's not easy to see, just above the hind legs is a leathery hinge in the carapace that allows the back part of the carapace to move. What I do have actually is a dead one that I can bring to show you next time I'm on drive, because it's up at Manuleti, at the camp in Manuleti. But it's a very good specimen that I can show you the hinge and it describes to you the movement of the shell. A lot of people think that tortoise shells are very rigid, but they are amongst the chelonids, the tortoise family. There are a number of species that have leathery hinges. There's a terrapin that has a leathery hinge on its plastron underneath its shell to help close up the front part. Tortoise is very shy. It's tucked in, petrified, I would imagine. So, oh, there you are. There's your head. Is your trot? Off you go. You want to see you move. A fairly young individual, probably halfway through its life. they get about twice that size. Now, much like the insect world, where a lot of people refer to all insects as bugs, whereas there is actually only one type of bug. In the tortoise world, there are 3 different types of chelonids. There are tortoises, turtles, and terrapins, and I suppose in the same way that he definitely wants to walk in the road, this child. Or is he going to attack us? He's going to come and bite the tire. Now, some people might refer to this as a turtle, but turtles live in the ocean. Tortoises generally live on land, and in the freshwater we find freshwater turtles, which are really known as terrapins. They're also not turtles. Of course, you can call anything you want. You can name anything the way you're comfortable with, but just in terms of correctness, zoological correctness. Quite a bold little fella. Looking at the curvature around the back part of the carapace, I'm guessing that it's a male. Hard to see the hinge from this angle, but if I can find, if he puts that leg out, I'll be able to. Just in front of where the hind leg comes out of the shell. Okay, let's continue. Bye bye, tortoise. Just to remind you, it's hashtag Safari Live, the Twitter thread where we're picking up questions from our viewers. Hashtag Safari Live, not Live Safari. I think some people have been trying to send things to Live Safari. One more flower while we're on our way, because I can. For some reason, not as big as they usually are. They're flowering already. Is the wild foxglove. They're going to be flowering a lot more as the season wears on, and they're normally very, very tall, but here there's a stand of them. The flowers are also smaller than they usually are, but that's because they're probably blooming early and they haven't had that much rain to grow the flowers very big. Maybe one day in the near future, a couple of weeks to come. So they'll flower throughout the summer, the wild foxglove, right in towards April. Started off fine, but the question itself was reading you less than 1 out of 5. Let me just get to this ridge and I'm going to stop, and then you can give me Brenda's question again. Brenda in Pennsylvania. Okay, let's see if it will come through. Seems radio's not being put. Sorry. I know that it's from Brenda, and I know that it's about a tortoise, and the question is why something. Why do tortoises Okay, I'm going to drive a little bit, maybe the signal will get a little bit better. The radio is very faint. I'm getting more static than Alex's voice. Drowning him out, static. Nice. Very different. Reminds me of a patch of thorny bush from last year. Quite clearly there was a fire here this past dry season on this side of the road. And it seems to have been quite a hot fire, judging by some of the ash, but also by the fact that a lot of these bushes were burnt. The entire crown was burnt, but they survived well, and you've got lots of little bush from trees that were growing and have had to start from these bushes and small hit by the flame. Pick up the thing. Road its name. A long time ago, or maybe not so long ago, dams on each property. Really why there are wolves.
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us.
Lost that there for a little bit and my radio wasn't so good, so we want northeast find the hyena. Maybe I'll just follow hyena track. Might take me some. No, I think that road. Continue on this one. We're going to go back on that road. Not near the road and they're sleeping in some thick bush. Might not even hunt them. About 2 out of now. At least I can make out what you're saying. So there's an old bullhorn. Maybe we need to go up onto a different road. Where I want to be at the moment. A sign of cats on any of these roads. We'll go back up to a road called Second Windmill, I think. And then copied. What was Brenda asking about the tortoise, please? Confirm hinge. Oh, I see. Why is it endangered? Not why is it hinged? hinge is actually there to assist, help with the arching the back when it's mating. Brenda, there are a number of species of animals that just are naturally on a decline. They are either on the rise because they managed to find a new niche, and they still have to. They're going to take centuries, millennia to either establish as a dominant species of a particular area, or you find that there might be species that exist that are on the sort of downward spiral because there's something else that just to do, or is to fill that niche a little bit better or more efficiently. That might not have anything to do with humans or our presence on the planet at all. There are natural extinctions that happen over time to different species. They're just not a very prolific species of tortoise. So I guess when you look at the leopard tortoise, for example, there are a lot of them. The leopard tortoise is just far more common. And perhaps a little bit more adaptable to the change in the changing climate in the vast area that this covers. The very common species throughout Africa, in fact, is rather maybe more specific in its habitat, more specific in its diet, and more susceptible in climate change. Those are reasons why things either become dangerous or threatened in the natural world without human intervention. It's just that we as humans have a tendency to speed up the process. I would think if these boys had both, might be a vulture or two. Branch in the road, tire tracks heading off. This might have been one. Those was a lot of activity here, but quite clearly this is where cats have been flying. There's a bunch of old bones lying here, not much, not very much. Clearly this is so this could have been. There's some down feathers on the ground from vultures. They have been
Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us. Hello everyone. Being out in the bush and being out there live has its technical challenges. We're experiencing some of that now and are working on it as fast as possible to get it sorted and get you back in the vehicle with us.
Welcome back. Sorry I lost you. You lost me. We lost each other. We found each other again. We are back. It's where I lost you. We got lost. We didn't get lost. Signal got lost. But it was clearly a place where those boys did kill something. I believe it was buffalo. There was a shoulder blade there. I have to be honest, it didn't look like buffalo. It looked like maybe a kudu or something. Or it was a small buffalo. I don't know. Stomach contents pointed more towards something like the buffalo. A couple of vulture feathers and obviously all the flattened grass, not only from the vehicles that were watching the spectacle, but also from the cats and the kill. But there doesn't seem to be any sign of them. But obviously not a great area to be wandering around trying to find something because of our broadcast signals didn't reach there. That's fine. I can live with it. I've ventured into new ground and learned one or two things. seen some interesting stuff. Plant-wise, I mean. Make our way back to Juma and maybe, if we're lucky, go past the Treehouse Dam again. Who knows, maybe by now the elephants, if they haven't already. There'll be some there. No, there'll probably be the buffalo. Get past. Just touch on the airstrip. This road should be safe enough to use in terms of the lodge. I don't want to go too close to the lodge. They might be coming back from their drive now. I don't know what time they do, but they might be heading back for breakfast now. I think this will take us up onto the airstrip. Maybe. Este. Could you reach those coming place? The floor is getting exceptionally hot. I need to put my feet on top of them. Thanks. mud wallow on this airstrip, or just off the airstrip, not on it. A few years ago, the last time I saw Mr. T and his brother was two Majingilans. No, the two Mapokos. Mr. T and forget his name. Just before that, they had a fight with the Majingilans and one of them was killed. It was one night, full moon on this airstrip. We were having a bit of a get together to say farewell to Andre, one of the guards from Arathusa, who was leaving to go elsewhere to another reserve, and heard them roaring. Oh look, here's a little Cokie Francolin. Please don't run away. Hello Cokie. C-O-Q-U-I, Cokie Francolin. I don't think they're spurfowl. I don't think their names have changed to spurfowl. Need to maybe be more that side of it so we can get the sun on its face. It's a very pretty little francolin. Stopped a bit too soon. I didn't want it to fly. It's going to move forward a bit. We seem to be on the shade side of the bird. Maybe somebody can help me out. The name of the two Mapokos that were left up here in the north when the other four brothers moved south. I can't remember it, I don't know. I was speaking about it just the other day and I remembered the name. It's just today. Mine's a little gone blank. But it was very late at night and I came up about where I am now, and up ahead in the moonlight on that little two-track to the right of the airstrip that we're on, this little track, one of the boys was walking this way and he sort of started cutting through because his brother was coming from where these wildebeest are towards the pan, and the two of them met up at the pan, roared for a while. And then it was getting too late. I had to go back to Juma because it was time to go have at least a little bit of sleep before drive the next morning. Wildebeest and zebra. I love it out here. Beautiful and open. There'll be a plane landing here soon. Caravan. Ah, of course, Kinky Tail and Mr. T. And with Kinky Tail, it was only a couple of days later. A couple of days later that Kinky Tail was killed and Mr. T was left and he limped off down south to find his brothers. That was the last time I saw them together. It was right here at this little waterhole. Chips and geese, there's a harmacop, some blacksmith's lapwings, wildebeest in their calves and zebra. Interesting thing I'd like to show you though, apart from all the other little creatures that are around. In the dead tree are some white foamy frog nests. Thank you, Wim. Some even on the edges of the buffalo weaver nest. But what's interesting is that the frogs when they're making those nests, have to climb all the way down the tree to the water to rehydrate themselves. And hopefully those nests are all hanging above the water, so that the tadpoles can fall in the water. It's nothing worse than seeing a frog's nest over a dry pan, because they laid the eggs in the time that's taken to hatch. The pan dried or the water receded. Quite likely that those nests have already released the tadpoles. Okay, good. A lovely peaceful scene, peaceful African scene. I'm going to go back a little bit so we haven't seen that much this morning, so I think we just sit here with the wildebeest and zebra in the background. Sit for a few minutes. As far as I know, there used to be some jackal living here.
They were here last week.
Were they? Oh, hello, Hamakop. Hamakop might catch a frog for us. No, you missed. See how it kicks with its feet? It's trying to stir up all manner of creatures that might live in these pans. Somebody asked me what constitutes a pan. This is a pan. It's a natural waterhole to some extent. I mean, this is somewhat man-made, but it is made bigger, and it is maintained by the animals that come and wallow in it and take away mud and make it bigger every year. And although they look very, very muddy, there's a whole host of life that live in these pans. Things that even remain dormant in their egg state when they dry up for the dry season, and a rather incredible process in terms of hatching that need some things that need a specific depth of the water. The water pressure has to reach a certain level for the eggs to hatch, because if they hatch too soon and the pans are too shallow, they can dry up before whatever creature it is goes through its metamorphics or its life cycle. One of them is a very interesting little creature called a fairy shrimp. One of the freshwater crustaceans. Very tiny little things. To my knowledge, no males exist. Only females who are able to reproduce without having to be fertilized. That type of reproduction is known as parthenogenetic reproduction. I don't know if anyone's clued up on their Greek history and Greek mythology, but Athena, and something about Athena reproducing without being mated with. My Greek history or Greek mythology is not very good. I just know a little bit from what I pick up from the stories in the stars and things I've picked up over the years, but I'm not much of a history buff. There's a head of a baby terrapin. Obviously dragonfly larva, lacewing larva. Oh, there's a beautiful dragonfly just coming over. Looks like a giant camouflage helicopter type of thing. It's gone, sadly. I think the wildebeest are going to be making their way into shade now. Hello, Savannah. Asking if we've seen the Hamerkop nest. I'm not sure where the nest is. I can't remember where there is a nest on Djuma. I'm trying to think now where there could be a Hamerkop nest on Djuma. There we got our own little migration going. Oh, you're on the geese. Wildebeest, strange, they get a bee in their bonnet, and they clearly did. Decided that it's time to go elsewhere. Maybe it's my voice. Dragonfly coming for another run. And I think since the wildebeest have moved, the zebra are going to follow them. Hamerkop nest much bigger than even these buffalo weaver nests. Huge platforms of twigs and sticks and grass in rather dense crowned trees on riverbeds, generally on riverbeds and things. That looks like could be the stallion up there that's rubbing against a tree. It's just behind some trees. Let's see if we can get closer. That is a blue, I forget its name, that blue dragonfly. It's not a drop wing. Oh, it is a drop wing actually. Its wings fold forward at rest. Okay, let's start making our way back towards Djuma. Bye bye Hamerkop. Bye bye geese, plovers, frogs, buffalo weavers. Everybody have a lovely day, a lovely peaceful African scene. I could sit a place like that, I could sit there all day. Especially if I had a little glass bowl and a little net. And we're fishing around for whatever lives in those little ponds. One way to find new things is to venture into unknown habitat. Look at that view. Just endless bushveld. Endless bushveld and miles of elephant country, as far as the eye can see in any direction and further. That's sort of looking into the center of the Sabi Sand, that view, or to the southwestern edge, or not even edge, but the central southwestern area. the goddess Athena. Thanks, Linda. Athena, the goddess Athena, that sprung from the forehead of her father Zeus. So she wasn't born through natural means. I suppose that's where Athena and Parthenon, the Parthenon, see now the Parthenon somehow connects to that too. And that's all, when we talk about etymology and the root of words and where things come from, that's where the word parthenogenetic, or somehow it's all connected. I don't know how it's all connected, but Parthenon, Athena. Now there are a number of creatures actually that are able to reproduce parthenogenetically. Some of the largest creatures actually are things like geckos. In the reptile world, there are a number of wasp species that are able to do that. I think there is a fish species that is able to do that. There was some animal recently trying to... I recall something in the news fairly recently, when I say recently, within the last couple of years, of another creature that was in captivity where there were only females in an explosion, and they managed to reproduce. I'm not too sure what they were. Possibly also a reptile. I don't think mammals are ready for it yet. Thankfully. Otherwise, you ladies would do away with us, and that's for sure. There are even species that can change sex as they grow older to accommodate a discrepancy in the numbers between the different sexes. Nature's really remarkable how to adapt. like this is a good example of how even on a really lovely day with really good weather, it can be a morning like this is a good example of how even on a really lovely day with really good weather, it can be not much about funny how it doesn't really, sometimes there's just so much to look at. One it'll be like a kid in a candy shop or barking an elephant, no way to look first. Sometimes even a day of driving around won't find anything. I had a lovely morning though. It's been a lovely relaxing morning. No pressure. Don't necessarily have to go and chase after something. It seems that all the game drive vehicles had a very similar morning because the radio was very quiet. They were looking for lion whipples on the northeastern corner of Gari, and I'll find out if they were lucky later. Let's go back to channel 2. Now that we're back home ground. What's up, Roller? How are you shopping? Just try and make it, we should do, take it back to Treehouse Dam. That's most of our and that we will. Some people have to go to bed, wake up on their Monday morning. Some people have to go to work. 5 out of 5. Reading you 5. Off we go. Don't know, maybe we won't make it. I am copying you. I am copying you 5 out of 5. Sorry. Sawa. Nimesikia dakika 5. That was Swahili. Anybody knows Swahili? Jambo bwana. Habari gani? Nzuri sana. Jambo bwana. Fikiri ni nzuri sana. Of course, there are more mamas than buanas probably still watching. Capananthus flowering in the top of that marula tree. Capananthus is a type of mistletoe. Okay, I guess we're not going to make it to Treehouse Dam. And now that I've seen one Tapenanthus flowering, I think it's a Tapenanthus, maybe it's a Tarkananthus. Different types of mistletoe that live in different types of trees. You get species-specific mistletoe that requires a specific host tree. And the knobthorn mistletoe flowers in winter, late winter. Oriole, but it's gone. But this is a marula type of mistletoe, and it's flowering now. I've got to look out for more of that. It's yellow. There is often a sort of diffusion of a particular color of flower, different types of flower. Whether it's coincide with special pollinators that are out at that time for and looking for that color. Of course, insects see flowers in different colors that we do. I can see a reptile. It's gone already. Huh. There was a plated lizard sitting on top of this termite mound. That's gone. My guess is maybe a rough-scaled plated lizard, because the tawny plated and the giant plated lizards, or the yellow-throated plated lizards, well, I don't think we'd get yellow-throated plated here. Would most likely have the rough-scaled plated lizard that lives on things like termite mounds, because the giant plated and the tawny plated lizards only live on rocks and crevices. We would need to go to find some rocky areas for those. Interesting lizard that lives with them, known as the flat lizard, and it's quite a unique lifestyle. But time to talk about that on another drive, and always seem to run out of time at the end of drives, because it's been so peaceful this morning. Thank you for joining me. I want to say thank you for yes. And see thumbs. Thanks for the questions that you've sent in. Thanks for the interaction. Thanks for joining us and staying up. If you've stayed up, thanks for staying through the drive. We'll be seeing you later this afternoon at around 4 o'clock Central African time. And hopefully then we'll try and find a different area to cover. We've pretty much covered this area. Maybe there'll be elephants at the dam. So whatever happens during the day, I'll try and follow up on it during the day, and then we can go and look for it in the afternoon. My name is Mark. We haven't been on camera, and Alex has been in final control, sending your questions through. Thanks for joining us. Come back to WildEarth, Safari Live.